So September 11th through 17th is National Arts Education Week. And I think arts education is important, especially in the public school, because we are often a battleground for funding, but we don't have to be. We can be a sort of fixture of every school where students feel comfortable commenting on their community, expressing themselves, telling people their observations and thoughts and feelings. And this comes in many different forms that make our world and our schools ultimately more beautiful and just more fun to be in.
I started taking art classes when I was 6, and since I've come to Western, I've taken a couple art classes every single year. This year I'm actually doing an independent study in ceramics, and I also do a lot of painting and crocheting and sewing, so I use that in my AP Studio Art class as well to make mixed media pieces.
I learned tactilely, and maybe that came from my art, but it definitely, my brain is wired to, I have to do the thing to learn it, and that's where art kind of comes in. And I love any project where I can make something or create something for it, or even if it's just like tests and I have to make flashcards and I make them all fun because that's just how my brain is wired. And art can also be something where you can find out how you learn best. So I think it's very important.
I've been continually impressed by my colleagues that teach theater, drama, and music because they will often take students who maybe they have a passion for it or have taken some lessons at home, but there's a huge equity piece there, because if students don't have the ability or the finances to take lessons at home, then we can teach them. And I have seen my colleagues work absolute miracles with a student who doesn't play anything and is now in the marching band or a string ensemble, or performs in a play in their very first year of high school. I mean, that's very impressive when you take students who I think often have the stereotype of not wanting to put themselves out there, and now they're on stage performing for an entire community. I think that speaks a lot to the power of the performing arts.
I do art because it's a way to express myself and kind of experiment with who I am as a person when, you know, these are the years where we don't really know that yet. And so I kind of just use it to, like, just kind of throw my brain on the paper, see where it takes me. Sometimes I'll learn things about myself, and it just helps me grow as a person.
Well, I have the unique position of having taught elementary school in Albemarle County Public Schools, and now I'm seeing 10 years later what those students who were offered an arts education when they were in kindergarten, first, second, third grade, and now 10 years later, rather than choosing to spend time on their phones, which they certainly could, they are choosing to spend their time creating or performing or playing music.
I think the arts are important in school because it is a very significant cultural aspect in our lives, and it's important that that culture is continued to be taught to students. The loss of art in society, I think, is really a bad idea. I think that as long as we continue to teach these skills, they help across all platforms of education, such as creativity and critical skill thinking. And I think just the creative aspect of it, just the beauty of art itself, should be shared with everybody, and I think it's important that we keep it in the schools.